Good afternoon and welcome to the New Holland Canadian U21, U20 Canadian Junior Curling Championships. My name is Sean Turriff. I am joined by the wonderful Jill Brothers. How are you today, Jill?
Hey, Sean. I'm great. I'm a rookie here, so I'll take your lead, and excited to be doing a Nova Scotia game today. Not that it's gonna be a great game, just to throw that out there because that is obviously where I live.
A little bit of a homer slant, I think we're going to get tonight. That's all good. We had a great Nova Scotia game this morning. The Nova Scotia women playing Prince Edward Island. Nova Scotia women were 4-1 coming in and played a struggling to this point PEI team, but it was a great game. Went to the 10th end. I think this will be just as good.
Line's good.
Christopher McCurdy here
both
throwing
of
up.
these teams are amazing.
Oh, you. Line's really good.
Two.
It's always Owen.
Two.
Line's really good. Line's really good.
Wait space. Go.
Line's really good. Easy, Nate.
Yeah, both teams are in playoff contention at 4-1. So this is a big game for both of them. I think we're in for a good one, Joe.
Yeah, and I love how the center guard's going up right away. It's a long 10-inning game, but this shows right away that we might be seeing lots of rocks, which is perfect for folks like you and I.
Let his hair down. 5-6. Weight's good. 5. Yep. Straight. 5. Coming down. 5, 4.
For folks out there who haven't joined us yet, the conditions are fantastic. The ice has been in for it was in last week for the mixed doubles, and so there's no fresh ice kind of situation, and hasn't been all week. So the athletes have been able to make some pretty nice shots, and they're settling in a little bit.
Yeah, I've seen some great curling watching from home, and we just saw that little tick on the center guard there, but it did remain on the center line, so that rock does not need to be removed. When this rule came into play, that was a big question. Like, if you tick it and it doesn't go off the center, does it still stay? So as you can see, that one stayed on the center line, so McIsaac gets to come around it. Both rocks will stay in play.
Good weight. He's just a little soft. I don't mind the hammer ice though either.
Nice shot.
He was 14-8, so if you throw that 15, you got it.
All right, you got this. Just a few feet more.
Sean, you must be getting really familiar with all of these teams, getting a lot of commentary in.
Yeah, I've gotten to do quite a bit. There's so many teams, though, and I don't say that in a bad way. It's a really good thing, but there's so many teams that I haven't done. Oh, no, I have done. I did do the Saskatchewan men twice. So often it's fresh faces, but yeah, I get to do lots of commentary.
Okay, that's fine.
Yeah, that's all good. I'm singing.
I was just wondering, Jill, you just came off a great week at the Scotties. Congratulations.
Thank you.
That no tick rule, it's been in play now for 2 years, right? I think. Did that come into play at all for you at the Scotties, or is it just something that at that level you're good enough that you're missing that, you're not making that miss?
Yeah, not entirely, and I will give kudos to all of the leads out there because I actually, forget about it as a sweeper of those leads rocks sometimes because, for us, Carly's the lead and she's the one that has that in the back of her mind as her tolerance. So she's aware of that all the time, but as a third and a sweeper for lead shots, it's something that, it's not always on top of my mind. I'm just listening to the direction that I'm getting. So the leads do have to have that in their mind, probably a little bit more than everyone else except the skip, of course.
Oh, yeah. Did you say outturn?
For the intern.
All right. Yep.
Whoa.
Yep.
Good shot by Alberta there. Does leave the center up.
Yeah, making runbacks in the first end, especially down the middle, can be pretty tricky. There's lots of practice before the game started. However, a lot of times the center area doesn't get used much, so he threw that nice and firm to make sure that it didn't move too much, and they got a pretty good result out of it.
Line's good.
I'd have to go back through the schedule to confirm, but it might be the first time these teams have been on this sheet. Now, that being said, the feedback is that the ice is really consistent across the 4 sheets here at the arena, and it's quite similar to the conditions that they're seeing at the club. So it's not like there's a ton of variation, but at the same time, you know, fresh sheet, you never really know.
Yeah, I was actually chatting with my teammate Marley yesterday about the conditions from her playing at the doubles, and so that these juniors would be dealing with the exact same conditions. And she said that it was so good and almost as close as it could be from arena to club, and that the rocks were great on in both areas as well.
Hey, good. Sorry about that. Top 12, 3 guards.
I like this.
Yeah.
PEI's been very busy with these, you know, 4 events all put into one. Essentially, it's super impressive, and kudos to PEI for putting so much effort into these back-to-back events. It's a huge undertaking.
Yeah, I wasn't involved at all in any of the mixed doubles, just this event, but everything's super smooth and running like clockwork, and conditions are great. Just everything that's going on has just been running very, very
Over
well.
curling. Top 8. To it. Owen.
The doubles was like a warm-up for the juniors, so you know they worked out all the kinks during the doubles. Now the juniors are getting the everything, you know, cream of the crop.
That's no good.
I'm kidding.
Nova Scotia a little unhappy with how that ended up. I think they certainly didn't want to group them quite as closely as they did.
Probably need here then. Yeah. Nose is fine though.
It's all right.
Yeah.
Control? Obviously, Lord.
Yeah, control.
Yeah. 7-9. Take it. All right. My first
A little unfortunate with that curl. They got a little bit more than they wanted, or a little less than they wanted. Rolled the 2 rocks together over to the side of the sheet. This gives Nova Scotia
Not
the
a
op-
terrible result.
Yeah.
Lead. Yep. Close. Yep. Yes. Hard. Gotta go. Just stay with the roll. Yep. Hard.
Really well managed there.
Yeah. Same as my
Again, that would be a bit of a fresh spot
here.
in the ice
Sounds good. I like
for the guys to kind of call that hit and roll. So that was a fantastic shot. Not really knowing where to put down the broom, probably for Kaylin.
The line's good. Running easy. Running, whoa.
8.
Whoa, Carl.
Snake. 14-1.
14-1's a little heavy. I timed their LSDs. Now their LSDs were coming this way, not that way, but 14-1 is generally going to be right about there.
Yeah, it's a bit of a guess when in the first end, where all those LSD shots have gone the opposite way, that you might add just that little bit extra where this way isn't as fast, but obviously a little too much extra.
Right around.
Now this gives Nova Scotia a big opportunity here to put pressure on.
So you put it top 8, it kind of blocks it off.
What did you get there? I had 14-4.
Yeah, I had 14-3.
You just like touch and center?
Yeah.
Okay. It's really fast.
Yeah.
Like way faster than your LSD.
Okay.
We'll get it there. Let's make it.
That was great communication.
I got real close.
Top eight's real good.
Yeah, especially early. It's very good of them to be communicating in that amount of detail, right?
Line's really good, guys.
Mine's really good.
Line's really good. Line's really good. It's all you now. It's all you.
Wait's okay. Wait's okay.
Line's really good.
Yep.
Yep. Hard. Hard. Go. Hard. Right up. Go. That's good. Good.
I think you kind of left the air here, hey? Yeah, it really curls.
I was a 16, so it's 50 and 5.
Yeah, I think you need more than that. I'm seeing.
This is where I gave you, and you only got to 7.
I know, but I was a big set and heavy. Like, you have to get by this, so like.
Yeah, okay, I guess we're
I'm thinking like you're here.
I get an inch left of that, yeah. Good cross, top 4.
That Nova Scotia rock came up a little bit shorter than where they would have wanted it. It does give Alberta the opportunity to tuck around there. There's still enough room to get shot, and then it's going to be really hard for Nova Scotia to get out. But we did just see him go a little heavy on the last one, so he's got to make a pretty big adjustment to, get this shot in the perfect spot, top 4.
Okay, line. Oh, he's straight. Oh, he's straight. Whoa.
Running, 9.
Whoa.
8.
Whoa.
8.
Whoa.
8.
Whoa. 14-3.
The women this morning were masters of the draw weight. If there's been one common theme on the sheet, it's been adjusting draw weight. We're seeing it here a little bit, a couple of shots in a row that just a little bit off.
Yeah, I was keeping an eye this morning on the Nova Scotia PEI game, and the PEI skip had her draw weight, amazing draw weight, and she was just, if they were in trouble, she was putting one right on the edge of the button or wherever they needed it, and she was getting them out of trouble a little bit. And Rebecca from Nova Scotia too, I saw her make a couple really great draws, and they were all just dancing around the button. It was really great.
That's in the ice.
It's in there. Same weight, we'll put it there.
Yep.
Make it.
Whoa.
I think you're okay.
Tubby! Where are we?
Room. Lot of room. Lot of room.
Wait,
Hard
good.
throw, Nathan. Easy, Nate.
Top 8.
Easy.
Top 8.
Easy.
Not too deep.
Whoa.
Okay.
What do you think, Jill? A little deeper than he wanted, or that okay?
I think it just happened for a while.
Yeah, just slightly.
It just always comes back.
I don't know if they can come right to that and get shot, so it still makes
think so.
pretty
If you have to go
tricky
here, that's
situation
fine.
for Alberta.
Just
Same weight.
yeah.
Think there.
Yeah.
Yeah, if he could have been 6 inches higher, you make a cold draw right to the button for Peter.
Weight or like a couple feet. Yeah. What kind of weight? Like 2? Same weight. Okay, I like it. Or maybe like a couple feet. Similar is probably good. Yeah, similar weight.
So Alberta with their last rock, trying to draw in here.
2 feet heavier. Straight.
Trying to catch, I think, a piece of the button, unless they're trying to tap that back.
I think they're playing the straight tap. They had said the same weight.
Okay.
Sit.
Shot, Peter.
Good.
Oof, that's a beauty. Nice
shot.
weight. And with that, Alberta takes one in the first. We'll be right back.
When I think New Holland, the first word that would come to my mind, I would think success. I think without it, for me, the success isn't there.
Whenever you deal with somebody so long and they take care of you, you remember that.
New Holland builds products that will continue to evolve and make the farmer more efficient, that can produce food for the world.
From cash spiels to Grand Slams, club competitions to world championships, there's a lot to keep up with on the pebbled ice. Stay up to date with the Hardline Curling Show, your weekly source for everything curling, with the latest event results, breaking news, interviews with players, executives, and insiders, plus behind-the-scenes access you won't get anywhere else. Follow us on Facebook, X, Instagram, and subscribe to our YouTube. Make sure you don't miss a thing.
Welcome back, folks. You're with Sean Turrup and Jill Brothers of the New Holland Canadian U-20 Junior Curling Championships in Summerside, Prince Edward Island, at the Credit Union Place. We have, in our feature match, Nova Scotia 2 men versus Alberta 2 men. Both teams at 4-1, both teams in a playoff hunt. We had a great first end there, Jill. A lot of great shot making.
Hard! That's good.
Yeah, they're going at it again.
15-9.
Center guard and come around.
I think you're just going on top.
Okay.
That was a great shot by Peter. He is, I don't know if that's exactly the way he drew it up, but it worked out, and he threw that nice soft weight where the sweepers could really carve it over. So great shot. To get them out of a little bit of trouble there, Nova Scotia has a really strong start in the first end, so Alberta needs to work on, get a little bit better on their rock placement there this end to make sure they're forcing Nova Scotia.
4, 3. Dig, Jackson, hard. Hard, dig. Hard, bring it there. Hard, Jackson. Good shot.
It's the first time I've seen either of these teams in play, and you know they're 4-1 now at this point in the week, and clearly it's because they're not afraid to take some chances and be a little aggressive and get rocks in play.
Yeah, Team McIsaac played a lot of men's events this year, so they're not afraid of rocks in play. Kalen is, I believe, in his last year of juniors, and they came second at this event last year, so they're very familiar with playing high-profile teams, and yeah, not shy to mix it up.
Keep going. Whoa.
What a great shot! Just snuck that around that cluster at the top 12.
Yeah, great sweep.
Okay, nose, kill. Okay.
You got it.
Yeah, let's make it.
What turn is this?
Out turn.
Okay, yeah, let's make it.
Go. Oh, yeah. Whoa. Go. Curl.
Good shot.
Good shot.
Changed the landscape there a little bit for Alberta. Nova Scotia's still in pretty good shape. The two guards, but the two yellow rocks out front are staggered a little bit, so it's practically impossible to run the one on the 12-foot straight back because of a guard that you can't see in the overhead.
Pretty good speed out here, Owen.
Yep.
Yeah, it makes the house a little bit awkward for Nova Scotia. So they're coming around to the center again as they kind of want to. They've got hammer spreading the rocks out wouldn't be terrible. They could do like a back 8 shot and try to keep the rings a little more open, but they're electing to come around the center and.
Top 8, line's good. Weight's good.
We've seen a lot of that this week, playing around the center. Maybe they're just a little more comfortable with it, but also the ice conditions allow them to do that. You saw where the broom placement there was, where the broom placement was there, and there you're almost on the center line.
Just off nose.
Yeah, the curl is The curl is amazing, so it makes for more fun curling, and there's just more options available for all the shots.
Yeah, I've been saying all week, the ice is both punishing and rewarding. It's punishing because if you throw a lazy handle or if you're off the line, you're not going to get a result that you're happy with. But it's also very rewarding because you can throw shots that you can't throw at your club, and you can play a game that's more complex and more advanced.
That's fine. Not bad. Good sweep.
Good shot.
Pretty good one. Yeah, absolutely. And sometimes I think you almost get to these events and you see all this curl if it's not something you're used to seeing, and then suddenly you can actually make shots that you might not have thought of, you know, maybe at your provincial level. If you had straighter ice, all of a sudden you can make you know, a come around something that's top 4, which is not typically in your wheelhouse, but here, you know, on great ice, it makes the world a difference.
So without giving away any team secrets, as a high performance athlete, how do you prepare when you don't have constant access to ice conditions like this? Or do you maybe have access to ice conditions like this?
Yep, clean.
I mean, we're not jumping on arena ice here in Halifax, but we do have almost the next best thing to it. When we get when the heat's done up at our home club, Adam gets us tons of curl. So a lot of the high performance teams in Nova Scotia do compete at the Halifax Curling Club for that curl, so that when we do go to bigger events and arena ice, you know, we can throw the rock there and, you know, replicate a little bit of what we're seeing when we get to the Scotties or the Slams. And otherwise, we can't always get, you know, access to ice whenever we want there. So we'll go somewhere else and just pretend like the rock is curling and throw it like we want to throw it.
What do you like? Okay.
Bit of a break now for Nova Scotia after the Alberta Rock rubbed that guard and rolled out.
Yeah, absolutely. There's no guards in play now, so there definitely will be a couple double opportunities for Alberta, but we won't be happy with that shot.
Clean, clean. Girl. Whoa. Straight. Straight. Yep. Hard. It's good.
Great shot. Those aren't always easy.
No, he really couldn't make it. Couldn't roll outwards, otherwise he's not on the rings, and he couldn't roll too far inwards, otherwise it's a run back double that's a little easier maybe.
Hard, dig, Parker, dig. Dig everything you have. Roll. Hard. Okay, all right. Well, it's all right.
That's a couple now we've seen over curl with that clockwise turn down that center line.
Yeah, I don't know if it's a little extra curl or right out of his hand on both those shots. They were calling yes, so maybe he's just getting those ones going a hair on his in-turn.
Yep. Weight's good. Yep.
Easy.
Whoa.
Clean it.
Close. Yep. Yes.
Hard, Chris. Hard to it.
Whoa. Good.
Make you miss, hey?
That's a great shot to get separation and minimize the opportunities to make a double now that they're so spread out. That is too flat.
Yeah.
There.
It's too flat for me, Sean. Maybe I'm wrong.
It's pretty flat. It's pretty flat and it's pretty far away. Maybe Alberta's hoping that even if they just roll over close, maybe they can direct some play over there.
Maybe it's just a roll call, not a double call. I saw his broom go that way. I'm like, wow, that's flat.
It's flat and long. The rocks are very lively here, and so, you know, in addition to the ice conditions where you get the curl and the speed that you don't get at your club necessarily, you'll get a lot of pop off of these rocks.
It's very fun.
It's a whole different game. Many more possibilities.
Okay. Are you like?
Don't leave it. Give me double. Back over.
I don't think he's gonna throw the freeze.
No, 1-2 ran a little straight, and now again gives Nova Scotia an opportunity to spread things out. And as long as they can avoid a double, they could be looking at 3 here.
Yeah, Palin puts this in a good spot. I don't know if we'll see them run the double on the other side or
We want to be back for
still be some kind of a double opportunity to get rid of two, but
I think
they're
similar to your
pretty
last one.
separated.
This patch might still be a little fresh.
Yeah.
But I don't think you want to throw any more.
No.
I got light.
Hit it a little
Pretty
bit.
good. Just make sure, guys.
Make sure.
You're definitely not heavy.
Definitely not heavy.
You're definitely not heavy.
It's okay.
Easy.
Owen draw.
Easy.
Clean. Easy.
Owen draw.
Easy. Clean.
Easy. You gotta be back. You gotta be back. Back.
Yes,
Back.
yes.
Yes. Yes. Yes. Go. Go. Go, Owen.
Go.
Go. Jeez.
That's good. Good.
A little excited there, but rock's in a pretty good spot. That's still pretty flat.
It's your call.
Again,
This
I'm
still
not
is
making that
there.
double,
Maybe if you go like that.
so I think it's
or you
pretty
go
good.
Back 12 if we do that. Like, I feel that that's really hard to get. I think we just play.
Yeah, sure. I like it.
Middle rock.
Yeah, because you can make it either way.
Yeah.
It's going to run for a minute, hey? Peter, it's going to run for a little bit?
Is it run?
Yeah.
Yeah, you got it.
Alberta choosing to play by far the simpler double. This is all.
Yeah, it's still pretty tough. These shots are always a little tougher, I find, for the for Jackson in the house. It's it's kind of dead on. You don't want to over curl the hair, and then you're just missing the back one. You don't want to under curl the hair, then you're jamming the back one. So there's, it's tough for that line caller.
Whoa. Yep. Yes. Hard.
Good.
Good shot there. Does what he needs to.
I didn't know what it was going to do.
Almost straight back.
Yeah, perfect call.
Gave you a little less.
Yeah. I don't like much less. Honestly, that looked a little light. I think we're still a little fast for the
So
weight.
now Nova Scotia has an opportunity to pick up two.
Yeah, same
Open
or
draw somewhere in the paint. Will do the job.
Clean early. Clean early.
Just make sure you're there. Just make sure.
Mine's good.
Yep. Gotta go. Gotta go.
Team will have
Gotta
had
go.
the luxury of throwing this rock in the
Mine's
last stone
good, guys.
draw.
Mine's good.
Should know what it's
Mine's
doing
good.
here.
Mine's good.
And the
Clean it,
clock
clean
looks
it,
like he's
clean
very
it.
close.
Good.
Good shot by Nova Scotia to pick up a deuce. Take a lead 2-1 after two. We'll be right back, folks.
When I think New Holland, the first word that would come to my mind, I would think success. I think without it, for me, the success isn't there.
Whenever you deal with somebody so long and they take care of you, you remember that.
New Holland builds products that will continue to evolve and make the farmer more efficient, that can produce food for the world.
Today we learned to put one foot in front of the other. That with a little hard work, great things will happen. We can go for gold, but what matters most is having fun. We learn from some of the best, improving our skills, building confidence, and making friends that feel like family. We are proud to be the future of curling.
Welcome back, folks. Welcome back, folks. We're at the New Holland Canadian Junior Curling Championships. in Summerside, PEI, where the credit union plays in the Gerard Turk Gallant Arena. My name is Sean Turriff. I'm joined by Jill Brothers. And Jill, 2 great ends so far, I think.
Yeah, Nova Scotia definitely has the upper hand with the way the ends have been setting up. In the first, Peter of Alberta made an amazing tack draw to score their one, and the last end, Kaylin had a chance for a potential 3, but Alberta made a great double, and they got the deuce, which is not a bad place to be if you're Team Nova Scotia. So Alberta's got to get some rocks in play to look for their deuce.
And there we see another example of that no tick, the implicated no tick. It did hit the rock, but it didn't push off the center line, so everything stays the way it was.
Line's good.
Folks listening, watching, who aren't terribly familiar with that rule, it must be horribly complicated, but essentially you can't move that rock. You can't move an opponent's rock off the center line position in the first 5 rocks.
Full 4, yep. Go.
And they didn't, so why am I talking about it?
15-4.
All right, we can make a new name for it, the tick no tick rule.
I like
tick no tick.
feet more than you just threw, hey?
The tick no tick.
No tick.
3, sure.
Because you're ticking it, but it's still the no tick rule.
Right.
I don't know.
There we go.
I don't know.
Weight's good, we're there.
Nova Scotia putting a great rock in behind that center guard that was ticked but not ticked.
Coming down.
Now sitting in a really good position.
Hard. It's Ian. 5. Dig, Jackson. Hard. Dig. 8. Hard, everything go.
Whoa. Curl. Gotta go. Okay, that's fine.
14-9. Yeah.
The sweeping is just so impressive. He had so much weight down on his brush head to get that rock past the guard. You could just see how much he was on his toes, and his brush head was in a great position to get that rock past the guard. It's really, really good.
Yeah, I'm not gonna suck you into the brushing, the brushing conversation. except maybe just with respect to that. Like at the end of the day, pressure and speed and that kind of thing. I don't think any of that stuff changed with all the other hullabaloo going on. That's really still what we're trying to accomplish as brushers, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, you're just seeing the fitness from these guys and how strong they are, like being able to position your body, get up on your toes, and put all that pressure down. It takes a lot of core strength and hard work to get that positioning right and be super effective. So I think that's all fair to say. But yeah, we don't need to get into the other stuff. I'm good with that.
Yeah, no, that would be a whole show. Somebody else can do that show. We'll concentrate on that.
Yeah. We'll leave it to the podcast.
You got it.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah.
Actually, just board. Okay.
Yeah, I like
that.
board. I think bump's too much.
Can I have just a touch more then? Yeah.
12-12-5, let's make it.
Yeah.
Board!
Yep.
Board!
Whoa.
Queen.
Whoa. Curl.
Tricky little shot here. He doesn't have a lot of room around that red guard.
Good.
A great involve on that shot. Really nice.
Good sweep. Down 3. Good nose.
Very good. That's perfect.
Yeah, I like that. Yeah, good sweep. Very long guard. Yeah, good sweep.
I'd have to agree. I think that was pretty close to perfect. I don't think we could have made that much better.
Just hot. Whoa. Clean. Whoa. Clean. Whoa. Curl. Whoa. Keep going. Straight.
Ooh.
Good.
Very close to that guard, but again, back to the sweeping power there. They're able to hold it just around that guard. That is so close.
Yeah, they almost overcurled it. They just pivot to the straight.
Yeah.
I'd almost ask for less. Honestly.
No, not less. Because we concur.
These teams are just, I mean, I was a junior quite a while ago, but the lightweight hits that they play are so impressive. I call it a tweener, which is between backline and hack. You might call it an 11, but then there's hack and bumper, and they throw those weights so well, and you can make so many more shots with those weights. I think when I was their age, it was basically a hit that was normal or a hit that was up normal.
Nope. Hard. Gotta go hard. Hard. Go. Yes.
Good shot there.
Good.
Really well done.
Great shot.
Can you ever do that with the guard?
I think the weight control, and I don't know, you can correct me if I'm wrong, Jill, but I think the weight control at this level has improved because for a lot of these kids, they've been exposed to these conditions more often. I mean, I don't know what it was like in your day, but when you were a junior, how often did you get to play higher level events on better surfaces?
Oh yeah, it was just like that random time you'd actually make a national, because there was only the one team that went, and it was all U-20 at that, U-21, I don't know, something like that at that time. So I mean, you're only getting to maybe a couple nationals in your whole junior career, which is, you know, I know one of the girls, she's already been to 6 and she's still a U18 player.
Okay.
Earlier, I mentioned that these were the two teams, so Nova Scotia 2 and Alberta 2 teams.
Quick now, it's
and for those of you who aren't aware, there are more than one, for some of the member associations, provinces and territories, there are more than one entry for men and women at this event. That was started a few years ago. The idea being, the concept being that the more opportunity we gave athletes to compete at these events, the more we were giving experience to more athletes, or just more to more is kind of the idea. And I think we're starting to see it pay off. Like you said, Jill, we've got kids at U18 who've been to 6 nationals already, and that's just pure experience for these athletes.
Okay, that's all right.
Good.
My first thought.
What do you like?
Yeah, and Team McIsaac was Team 1 last year for Nova Scotia. Had a great run here at Nationals, and our U18 team that was number 1 for U18, now our number 1 for U20. So, you know, they're having an incredible season being U18 players and representing Nova Scotia at the U20 as our Team 1. So their young experience is already, you know, paying off. They're currently 5-0, and they just play well beyond their years for being a U18 team. It's really impressive.
You gotta go! You gotta go! Okay. Little bumps, okay.
Am I trying to bump?
A little fortunate on that one, but I'm sure he'll take it.
Yeah, for sure.
I can get to
over a long week like this, and again, you'll know better than I do, but over a long week like this, there are times where you just have to get a little bit lucky once in a while.
Sometimes you're unlucky and sometimes you're lucky.
Right.
Easy. Take a look.
And we're going into this.
God, this
I don't mind that little hack. No, we don't nose. So he plays the same shot, 6-2.
If you roll in?
Roll in pretty good, I think.
Heavy hack.
Yeah. They're going to try to pretty thin and chase either way.
Yeah.
I'm saying I kind of like the freeze on the one that Alberta just threw.
What do you think, board?
Yeah, I mean, they are hitting third shot, right? It's where are they going to roll to? Are they're planning to roll inside, I assume.
Where are we rolling to?
We're
Yeah.
second, but we want to roll trying like on top of that yellow.
Okay, so how thin?
Yeah, this angle shows that yellow rock on the edge of the floor is fairly buried, so it would be hard to get an inside freeze on that.
Straight to it. Yep.
Just half.
Yep. Gotta go.
Whoa.
Yep. Whoa. Shit. Whoa. Watch out. Watch out.
Oh no.
Girl.
That's you.
Girl.
Oh, boys, how about this? On that roll.
Well, that's a pivot.
Yeah, there's teammate of the year right there, grabbing that, and saving that all the way down.
Yeah, I just didn't know.
Kudos to both of them though for not,
Another rule.
for not,
Oh my gosh.
yeah, for not panicking and for not stopping. He didn't even slow the sweep there.
Here. That's fine, yeah.
Like just take it all off. Yeah, that was good. That was like Ryan Abraham.
That's wonderful.
Yeah, so there's having a conversation there. The mic pack did hit the top of the rock. So they were just telling the other team that happened, and the other team was obviously great sportsmanship and just saying like that was way out of your control, and I'm sure it did not impact the what happened with the result of the stone. So that was a weird situation.
Yeah, if anything, that's a distraction for Nova Scotia, right? How did they make that shot as well as they did, with all that considered?
Yeah, I like how Caitlin didn't give up.
No,
he just said, "Girl."
Clean.
Oh, there, high.
Whoa, then, whoa.
Mine's good.
Clean.
No.
Whoa, curl.
10.
Straight then.
10.
Curl, straight.
No.
Curl.
Parker.
Uh-oh.
Come on, you gotta go hard. Gotta go hard, Parker.
Hard. Shoot.
No, that is what it is.
I don't think it's as bad as they think it is. I'm right behind that sheet. They can see maybe half of it, and
2/3.
I guess they could peel that out.
Yeah, there was a bit of they said 10 and then 9. That rock was probably back 4, like it didn't move it very much. So I think Jackson was trying to pivot on the call, but they could then see that it was coming down. So and then he called the curl. I think he was back and forth between what to do with that rock if it was heavy. So it didn't end up in a bad spot.
No, I don't think it did either. I think it's going to be hard to get both of these out. Oh, looks like we have a coach interaction.
I just wanted to go over because I don't want to give up
If we
three.
get to the nose, I think it's going over.
Can we get to the nose with that weight?
He wants to throw half.
Well, maybe it's not.
I'm just wondering. I'm just thinking if you don't get to it, are we leaving in 3? Because if we don't get right.
Well, as long as we get one out of there, it's only 2.
Right. The other one was a tap. That was the other
thing. You're
thought.
tapping it into it.
Yeah, that's not a bad thing. But the other thing is if you don't get to it, it's a jamming on this red. That's all. You have to get to it.
I don't think so. Well, we're here. It's just right in the hole.
We gotta get it into the pocket if we're doing that.
If you're comfortable with this, but I just want to make sure that number 6 goes out past this red. Right?
I don't mind
I don't know if we
this.
can throw enough weight.
No, I know, but I don't want to live 3.
Do you ever throw it with weight?
Okay? I don't mind the tap. That's a small hole.
How much weight you throw in here?
Like board?
Yeah, I do. I don't think it's just half.
So Coach Craig Burgess comes out and has them rethink that shot on the right side.
Chris! We're throwing like board at it.
Yeah, Craig has a ton of experience, lots of nationals.
I think so.
After the drama from the last shot that Caitlin threw with the microphone, I did think this landed in a really good spot for this kind of shot. Yeah, I think if Kaylin's seeing it, I think it could end up being in a really good spot.
Just boy.
Clean.
Whoa.
Close.
Good boy.
Close. Curl. Whoa.
Curl.
Curl. Whoa.
Whoa.
Straight.
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 Whoa.
Straight. Straight. Straight.
That's that really good spot you talked about, Joe.
That's a really good spot.
Are we up there or no?
We're just second. Yeah.
I think that's the call.
Yeah, you always just miss.
Do we have the hole?
No, it just down here. It's only for one. That's really hard. Yep.
Firm?
Yep.
It's just off.
Yeah.
Give me like an inch of ice. I mean, you have to run for 2.
You're always playing just to do this, like.
Yeah.
Yeah, Kaylin looked a little unhappy with the result of that shot, but I mean, this is it's not a gimme run back, and what they're saying is I think it's only ever for 2.
Yeah, I kind of think there's a 3 there, isn't there? I might be wrong.
Whoa.
Not an easy shot though. Long run back. It's over curling.
Okay. One. Yeah.
Sorry, good throw.
Good attempt there by Alberta, but slight over curl. End up giving up a steal of 1 to Nova Scotia. We're at 3-1 Nova Scotia. We'll be right back.
Hey, Canada, come on in to Montana's. When it's game night, there's no better place to cheer on the pros or celebrate your own wins or forget your sporting woes. Because when you're craving in-house smoked, fall-off-the-bone ribs, head to Montana's, Canada's home for barbecue.
Every venue strives to create the ultimate fan experience, one that leaves audiences cheering for more. DDG and LG Display are here to help you make that vision a reality. LG delivers unsurpassed imaging with its world-class technology and exceptional support. With versatile multi-sport display systems and proven revenue-generating opportunities, DDG ensures to deliver the best seat in the house. Contact DDG today, always delivering the best fan experience.
Welcome back. We're at the New Holland Canadian Junior Curling Championships here in Summerside, Prince Edward Island. My name is Sean Turriff. I am here with Jill Brothers.
Good.
And Jill, lots of rocks in play. It's been a fun game so far.
Yeah, it's been a great game. We've got a corner guard up. I think it's the first corner guard of the game. So Alberta's going to try to get something going here.
It's looked a little mixed double Z there for a while, right? Everything up the middle. But that's okay too. Lots of rocks in play, so it's kind of exciting.
Line's good.
Yeah, super fun. Some tap shots, some run backs.
Clean. Clean.
3.
Clean.
3.
Make sure you're tight. Yep.
On that last end, we got to hear Coach Craig Burgess come out for Nova Scotia. And for those of you who might not be aware, at the U-21 level in Canada, coaches are allowed 2 interactions per half.
Okay, Barker, about 15-5.
Each.
That's
and while they are interacting with their teams, the clocks do continue to run. This replaces the old timeout system and gives coaches more access to their team in the moment. Coaches are also allowed to confer with their teams between ends. It's a little bit different than what we're used to. The idea there being, in a similar sense that we're expanding the number of teams here at the Nationals, we're giving coaches more opportunity to directly influence their teams during play. If you think about it, it's like any other sport. Almost every other sport, your coach gets to have some immediate interaction with you, and in curling, we've not had that for a long time. Talking to the coaches over the week and over the last couple of years since we implemented this, the response has been overwhelmingly positive. The coaches love it. It changes what they're able to talk about and what they're able to teach, and it changes the impact of what they're saying to them. So there's practically zero complaints from the coaches. Of course, once you get to the Worlds, it changes, and it is what it is, but it helps better prepare them for making those decisions when they get there.
Hard, get it there, hard.
If I ever get into coaching, my biggest complaint will definitely be how cold I am.
Yeah.
If I'm coaching a junior team, that could be problematic for me.
That is the one thing the coaches unilaterally agree on.
16-3, I like 15-16.
You see any number?
Yeah, it's
heated vests and heated seat cushions, and I've seen heated gloves where they have a little battery in them.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. When I lived in Toronto, I coached a junior team out of the Denalda Golf and Country Club, and they were lovely girls. And I was always so annoyed as a coach that I couldn't teach them in the teachable moments, it felt like. So I really like the idea of like they're learning on the spot when it's happening versus always having to just debrief afterwards and figure it out after the fact. I think that's really helpful for the athletes, but I do like that, at this level, they only have access to a couple per half. And, coaches aren't coming out and making all of the decisions for the players.
Right, and they do get more at U18, but the idea is that, and just to what you alluded to, it graduates. So there's more interaction with the youth, the younger the athlete is, and it generally drops off as you get older. At the U25 level, I coached at the U25 Classic in Edmonton last year. We had standard timeout rules, but I was able to confer with the teams between ends. So it's that gradual petering off of interactions as the athletes get older. The intention is, these events really, U21, U18, they're very much developmental events. And so this is the place for that, I think.
Yeah, and I just like how, you keep kind of tweaking things and changing things. It's, it's the old way was the old way for a very long time, and Curling Canada and all of the member associations seem to be pretty open to change and trying new things to making our athletes better. And I think we're seeing pretty good results with some of these teams. They're making incredible shots for the age that they're at.
Throw down, hey. 3, 2, like not there. 2? Yes. Whoa. Okay. Like 1, 2. Okay. Like bouncing. We can bounce.
Yeah, try bounce.
Yep. 3. Yep. Gotta go.
Bounce it off.
Okay.
16. Hit and roll to the center. Yeah. Off that guard. Corner freeze.
Once again, Nova Scotia's got all the pressure on here.
I'm going to throw this guy to you guys.
Angles are set up really better for Nova Scotia than they are for Alberta.
Yeah, that top 4 Alberta it's in a pretty nice spot, but they're probably going to have to head for the cleanup game in a moment here.
Oh, it looks hot. Can't be heavy. Yep, line. Hard line. Whoa, curl. Sit. Okay.
Kind of like that red run, hey? I think you say
that was a little unfortunate. It lined that those rocks up just a little better than they had been. And I know what he was trying to do by curling it. He was trying to get to the nose of it to try and mess the angle up, but it ended up just straightening everything out a little bit.
Yeah, I think Nathan was just fairly light on that shot, so they had to change the call.
7/8.
Okay.
Whoa. Okay, that's fine.
Oh.
This hit
Wow.
It didn't hit it. It was going.
Okay.
Yeah, I just double tap. Yeah, it's all good.
Yeah.
You see, that doesn't happen very often.
No. In fact, it happens so seldom. Everybody looked at him like, wait a minute, maybe that rock has to come off.
Control?
Oh,
No.
2/3. 2/3.
2/3.
There was a
Yeah, it
lot
felt
of
like, did someone kick that? Did
Yeah.
it bounce off the boards? Where did that come from?
come that was
It's always fun to see new angles and new things happen with rocks.
completely changes this end now, though.
Clean, whoa, clean, close. Curl, curl.
Okay.
They could have come at that shot from the other way, but you could see that red one in the back of the house. That would have jammed, so they kind of had to play that with the red on yellow situation. So this kind of does help Alberta right now with the rocks at the back of the house. So they're going to move into the come around here and see if they can get a kind of a safe deuce now that everything's cleaned up from that crazy shot that Jackson made there on his last shot.
10. Oh, that's big. Always park there. 14. Knife if you're still in. I don't know. Okay, just let it die. It's okay.
I mean, we're just two, but
I'm kind of scared leaving all that stuff back there. I don't mind just wrapping.
what do you like? This is a tough double.
He's probably freezing back there. So.
What if we just rip the guard?
Yeah, that's not bad. I like that. I like that.
I don't mind it. Like, he's probably just going to try and hit and roll in front.
Well, yeah, he put it in the 8-foot. Anyone in the house is kind of around. This isn't terrible.
Do you ever go, like, up here?
What do you see here,
Like,
Sean?
he's probably just going to
Yeah, I guess I don't mind the come around. It just prevents Alberta from coming around, or at least it makes it harder for them. Mind you, if there's nothing there to come around, that's not a bad thing either. So I think I agree there with
Yeah, I like this.
Yeah.
Callan. That double at the back really isn't. It's pretty tough.
Yeah.
Best he does is kind of come across, hit and roll in front.
I think so.
I think with a 3-1 score, this is probably a pretty good call.
Yeah, neither shot is wrong, and Alberta probably will go with that hit and roll and, try to stir up a deuce. They could play a freeze as well.
Yeah. I think you Aaron on the nose side, hey?
Yeah, I was thinking which one to freeze to. I mean, kind of like that.
Me too, because if he knows it, it's fine. You kind of have to be like right there or like here, so it always. You almost want to be here this way so it plants. Okay.
There?
Yeah.
If it's really overcrowded, we can hit it like a quarter and just go into it.
Yeah. Peter.
Yeah. It's control.
That was well thought out. They definitely want to be in front of that red one, or even a little past that red one. What I'm talking about, I should say. They want to be on top of it. Oh, what have I got going on here?
There you go.
I don't even have. Hold on now. They either want to be. I'm going to draw another arrow by accident, but they want to be there, or they want to be here. There we go. I'll get rid of the arrows in a second.
Clean, get.
In between games, you're just going to work on your arrows skills.
Yeah. That works too, and that double was there. Look at that.
Yeah. I know when he had said that was a tough double, or maybe not that it wasn't there. You know, it's always there. But I just visualized Rachel Holman throwing a laser and going bang bang, and making like another incredible double like she does. It was so fun to watch them at the Worlds. I'd record the games and get up early so I could watch almost every draw.
Girl, roll it,
Yeah, they're
roll it!
on a tear now, aren't they? That team.
That was a really good shot.
It's got to be frightening to have to play them.
I think
a little bit.
You know what we love? We love playing them. We love the challenge of playing them. They're so good though, and playing against Tracy at third position, you think you make a good shot, and then you're like, oh, no, it wasn't good enough. Because Tracy is just, well, I mean, you've probably seen the wizarding memes. She just makes so many shots, and I say the same thing about Val Sweeting too. I think I'm bringing my A game, and then I'm like, nope, that was just an A. They're an A plus on that, so it's hard to get one up on them. Both of those thirds for sure.
Yeah, that last shot by Nova Scotia, really good, because I think we just touched that yellow one just enough to make it third shot.
Queen!
It looks to me.
Yes, straight. Control!
Yes!
Control, a little down! Hard, straight, hard, Parker. Dig. Gotta go, Parker.
Hard.
We'll measure, but
Prior to the competition, the officials do address all the athletes, and they say they have checked the rings. They are perfect here. That's not my words. That's the officials' words. They are inconsistent at the club, but they are perfect here. So trust the rings. Looks like it's 1 yellow for Alberta. So Alberta picks up the 1, gives the hammer back to Nova Scotia, but Nova Scotia leads 3-2. We'll be right back.
This is a message from the Payzants, from the Ho family, from Sophie and Philippe, the Kurzaks, the Bushers, and the Flanagans. This is a message from over 1,000 family-owned home hardware stores, serving communities across Canada for over 60 years. Whatever your project is, we're here for you to help you build your dreams and build a brighter future together for the place we all call home. We're proud to be locally owned and genuinely Canadian.
Days Inn makes every winning moment even more epic. Staying nearby gets you close to what matters most, right from let's go to OMG whoa. No matter why you're traveling, we have what you need to make every day even sweeter. Because when you stay closer, like me,
And me.
it makes every day brighter. Seize the days at over 1,500 locations. Days Inn, a trusted brand by Wyndham.
Welcome back. We're at the New Holland U-20 Canadian Junior Curling Championships here at the Credit Union Place in Summerside, Prince Edward Island.
Line's good.
My name is Sean Turf. I'm joined by
Line's
Jill
good.
Brothers.
Straight, yep.
And I don't think I realized quite how big that last hit and roll was by Nova Scotia. Jill, to really force Alberta.
Right off.
Yeah, not saying that I was biasly a little fist pump for that little roll. But that was a great shot by Kaylin to throw kind of a rocket and make sure that Alberta couldn't get two there to tie it up.
He only touched that rock by a couple of inches, but it was just enough to push it into third rock position and eliminate the possibility of a deuce. It was kind of brilliant.
Weight's good.
Yeah, and if you think of where that end had started, it ended up looking entirely different. You know, down the middle, it was clogged up, and then we saw the unique shot that came out of Jackson's bomb that he threw down, and all of a sudden the house is wide open, and they're playing at the back of the house for a potential deuce that turned into a single.
Just to let folks know who are watching, we have 4 games here at the Gerard Turk Gallant Arena. On sheet B, we have Ontario 2 playing Manitoba 1. Manitoba 1 currently at 3-1. On my right, we have a bit of a runaway. We have Newfoundland 1, PEI 2. Newfoundland is currently up 12-0, I think. It's 12-0. And on sheet E, we have New Brunswick 1 against BC 1. Right now, New Brunswick 1 is up 4-1.
Straight.
For all the scores, you can go to the Curling Canada site, curling.ca, and I think it's curling.ca/scores, as there are 4 other games going on at the Curling Club.
They were 15-6.
Great draw weight to start this end.
So I like 15-7 here. 3-4 to be a hair light, that's fine. I liked it.
5 good. Try 6, 7. Weight's good. Arm's good. 2 it. No bounce. 8. All there. Running. Whoa. Jackson. 8, 9. Yeah, you gotta go. Yeah, you gotta go. 9. Hard, Jackson. Hard, try and touch the red.
Shoot. Fuck.
Okay. Should be an interesting little end here with rocks getting clustered. It's always fun to watch the angles.
Yeah, that was an unfortunate little bounce for Alberta. It looks to me that might go right through the hole if they nail that on the nose.
Yeah, I think worst case, it squirts it out into the open. If they don't make the double, at least it squirts that middle rock out into a hittable position. You're right there. I don't think it contacts that back red one at all.
Control up, let's make it.
Yeah, and you notice Nova Scotia didn't go with a corner guard this end. They went straight around. They're good with a blank here in the 5th to take a 1-point lead into the 6th, but now they've got a bit of an opportunity, so they'll look to spread the rocks out and maybe go for a deuce.
Yep, yes! Hard! Hard on that yellow. Come on. Hard. Go! Good.
Yeah, it was always going to be hard to knock that one completely out of play, but pushing it out into the open end into fourth rock position, or 4th shot position, I guess, essentially does the trick.
Yeah, you could see how the back rock had a little bit of a drag, which sent it straight back compared to what you think it might go completely sideways. And he didn't throw it super hard, so they still got a ton of action off of it.
This one has some sauce.
It's a really nice shot. It's a nice get out of trouble shot.
I think so. Do you like that, Ace?
Yeah, the boys are still a little more, the men, are still a little more comfortable throwing that than the women. You do get the odd team that can throw as much as that, but not as many as the men. I think the men just get a kick out of it, so they practice it lots.
Super enjoyable to just throw it as hard as you can all the time. Have a hard throw competitions.
I think that's the biggest factor right there. Really nice.
We were having fun working on that the other day. Just, a little bit more, getting a little bit more weight, throwing those run backs and big rips in the house, just using our body position in the hack a little bit differently, and trying to get 2/3 of a second faster down the ice so we can blow things up when you need to, and have precision still, and not just throw, don't throw it ugly. You still got to throw it good.
Not just a wild bomb.
Yeah.
I'm not plugging anything or suggesting anybody follow anybody or anything, but Tyler Tardy does have quite an entertaining Instagram account, and he just finished a series of how many rocks can I get out with one shot, and he started with 1, then he went to 2, then he went to 3, and I saw it at 10. I'm not sure if he got to 11, but wow. it was pretty fun. And it was really about fun more than anything. But there was an element right there of you got to throw it hard enough, and you got to throw it accurately enough. At the same time, though, he's having fun doing it, so I think it's a really good advertisement for practice. So.
Yeah, he is super entertaining. He's done some pretty fun stuff on his Instagram or TikTok or whatever it is. And you know what? He'll be fun to follow as the 5th at the Worlds. I think he'll put a really entertaining flair on, behind as Team Canada, if he keeps up what he typically does online.
I think I've seen a few already, so I think we're in for a good week there.
Hard! How do you roll? It's okay.
So this is looking pretty good for Nova Scotia right now to potentially get a deuce. That center guard is still up there. That could be used by Alberta as this end progresses. Nova Scotia has to try to get shot rock out of this one to keep the deuce alive.
Yep. Gotta go. Hard. Whoa. Curl. Whoa. Straight.
Yeah.
Hit this one as thin as we can first.
Yeah, I think you can actually hit the hair tooth and hay.
Make sure you get that one first. Though.
Yeah, for sure.
A little bit tricky to get them both here, but they're making the right choice by hitting the one on the forefoot before they hit the other one. I think that's the only way they make it. But.
No, we can't hit the other one first.
Yeah, if you come at it the other way, you're gonna first jam that red on the yellow. So this way, you're trying to hit almost the back side of that red on the 12-foot and kick it sideways versus playing it the other way.
See if I got my pen. I got my pen over there, and then too late. I think it was pretty. I think you described it quite well. Though. I don't think I really needed to diagram that one out.
Sit.
Hey, nice throw.
Good shot.
You throw it pretty hard. Yeah. Just try and separate them as much as we can.
Yeah. Get big roll. I don't think that middle red's going anywhere. Normal?
I think more than that.
Okay. Easy deal. Yeah.
What? Yeah.
Like 8?
So both these yellow are going to fly if he hits it properly, and ideally he wants to hit the inside half of that yellow rock so he can roll his red kind of as close to the center as he can to get some separation between his reds and not leave a double.
Whoa. Close.
Yep. Hard, gotta go. Hard on that yellow. Go, Chris, go. Keep going, Reno. Go, Chris. Reno. It's good. Fuck.
Well, to your earlier point, Jill, the blank is alive and not the worst option at all for Nova Scotia.
Yeah, it might feel a little disappointing because they were set up for a deuce here, but taking the hammer back to 6 is a pretty positive situation for them. So they've still got to finish this end out with the blank if these guys hit and stick.
I think they're going to try and hit and roll under that. It's a long roll, and it's real flat.
Clean. Get. Whoa. 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 Get. Whoa. 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 Roll it. Roll hard. Roll there. Hard. Yes. 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 Whoa. Whoa. Whoa.
Good. My bad. Good throw.
Oh, you want to be on this side?
Awful close, but did poke out a little bit. And so Nova Scotia will have the opportunity.
Really good attempt.
To peel it. Yeah, I didn't think they'd be able to get that much of a roll, but
yeah, same way. Yeah. Nothing crazy.
It's really hard to call those precise rolls when obviously you're rolling really far and the heavyweight's coming at you. The way it bounces off, it's really hard to get the precise spot behind the center guard. So this gives Nova Scotia a chance to play the blank. It's a little more difficult than maybe he was hoping.
Girl.
needs to move a little bit. I think he's got it though.
Get it, come on.
And there we go. Nova Scotia does successfully blank in the 5th end. And so they'll carry a 3-2 lead into the 6th after the break. We'll be back in just a couple of minutes after the break.
When I think New Holland, the first word that would come to my mind, I would think success. I think without it, for me, the success isn't there.
Whenever you deal with somebody so long and they take care of you, you remember that.
New Holland builds products that will continue to evolve and make the farmer more efficient that can produce food for the world.
The live sports experience is changing. Teams and facilities are under pressure to provide online and in-venue entertainment. IKS Live has the right team to deliver. We provide service across North America and produce the best fan experience, in the seats or streaming to you. IKS Live continues to bring you the best seat in the house.
This is a message from the Payzants, from the Ho family, from Sophie and Philippe, the Kurzaks, the Bushers, and the Flanagans. This is a message from over 1,000 family-owned home hardware stores, serving communities across Canada for over 60 years. Whatever your project is, we're here for you to help you build your dreams and build a brighter future together for the place we all call home. We're proud to be locally owned and genuinely Canadian.
Today we learned to put one foot in front of the other. That with a little hard work, great things will happen. We can go for gold, but what matters most is having fun. We learn from some of the best, improving our skills, building confidence, and making friends that feel like family. We are proud to be the future of curling.
Hey, Canada, come on in to Montana's. When it's game night, there's no better place to cheer on the pros or celebrate your own wins or forget your sporting woes. Because when you're craving in-house smoked, fall off the bone ribs, head to Montana's, Canada's home for barbecue.
Days Inn makes every winning moment even more epic. Staying nearby gets you close to what matters most, right from let's go to OMG whoa. No matter why you're traveling, we have what you need to make every day even sweeter. Because when you stay closer, like me,
And me.
it makes every day brighter. Seize the days at over 1,500 locations. Days Inn, a trusted brand by Wyndham.
Welcome back. You're watching the New Holland Canadian Junior Curling Championships at the Credit Union Place here in Summerside, PEI. My name's Sean Turf. I'm joined by Jill Brothers. Jill, that first half, pretty fun. In the break, what do you think Nova Scotia was debating, talking about, planning for the next 5?
Score in the evens. I think they know they're in a pretty good position right now. They just need to keep playing really well, which they are. So being up 1 with the hammer and 6 is a good place to be. They know they're up against a really good team in Alberta too. So little slip up to start this end, and they're going to take advantage of it by hitting this one that slipped in.
Gotta go.
On the flip side, what do you think Alberta was thinking about for the next 5?
Gotta go.
I think they're thinking about probably some rock positioning. They've missed on a few rock positions, but they have made enough to limit Nova Scotia's scoring. So they're going to need to get a steal somewhere along the way and try to flip the hammer so that they can eventually hopefully have the hammer back in 10, so they can steal or score a deuce or a 3 somewhere along the way to take the lead.
Keep it going.
A force here for Alberta, to force Nova Scotia to a single here would be a pretty big win for Alberta as well.
One misstep deserves another, I guess. The Nova Scotia slips into the rings on their first, and Alberta doesn't take it out. They just kind of kick it over to the side.
It's the other way around. Alberta slipped in, and Nova Scotia had a little under curl on their hit there, which they wouldn't be super happy with, but they're still going to hit this one in the rings and try to make up for it.
Hard. Gotta go. Watch the roll on. No roll. Okay.
Sounds like a great atmosphere there, Sean. Lots of cheering. I hear lots of bells. Sounds like a lot of fans there supporting their kids or their friends. Sounds great.
Yeah, they sure are. They've got stands over. When mixed doubles was playing here, there were 5 sheets in play. they closed off sheet 1, carpeted over it, and brought in bleachers. So there's room on both sides of the arena now for fans, and there's quite a few folks in the stands, flags all over the place, and like you said, bells and whistles and all kinds of noisemakers. So it's a small but mighty crew here. There's only maybe 8 rows of people, but boy, oh boy, they know how to make themselves heard.
With throw control. Oh, control. Good.
Yeah, I remember my first junior national. I can still remember skipping, and you miss that last shot to win a game, or a big shot, and then you hear the crowd go, "Ah!" It kind of stays with you for a long time because you're not used to curling with people's reaction at that age. It was a hard thing to kind of get used to, but we still miss shots at this age, and now when you hear the "ah" in the crowd, it's it's all right. It happens. It means they're watching the game and they're into it. And that's what we want fans to be.
I think the challenge beyond that too for kids at this age is the with 4 sheets going on, you're hearing random bursts of applause or cheers or whatever, and it may come at a point where you're settling in to throw an important shot, and you may just hear an explosion of cheers. And so getting used to that is another one of those learning things, right? That I guess takes a while to get used to.
Yeah, for sure. And sometimes you just have to take an extra second. And if that's happening just as you're pushing out, you can't take an extra second because you never know when it's going to happen. But if it starts when you're just kind of settling in, maybe take that second, get up, get out of the hack, and reset yourself so that you're back into your routine. Hopefully time permits for that with your time clock in the background. But I think that puts you back into more of a routine situation than just kind of trying to push through all that noise and do something that's super unfamiliar.
Hack! Clean, yep. Just time. Clean, close. Whoa. Girl. Straight. Roll away. Yep. Hard. Roll away. Hard roll. All right, you got this. Control. Control. Yep. Control. Whoa, clean. Yep. Whoa. No. A little bit, Carl. Just nose. Straight. Clean. Control. 10. Straight. Okay. 10-1. Sorry. I think so. Okay, roll's good too. Control. I think it's gonna be straight. I think so.
Nova Scotia's going to try to use this center guard. Try to get something going. You might leave Alberta a run back, but if you just stay out here in the wings, then you're going to leave Alberta that role. So Nova Scotia may as well beat them to it.
Okay.
Okay, same weight.
Yeah, you got this.
You can see the time clocks there just above the scoreboard. As I said earlier, I think both teams get 40 minutes of thinking time. Normal, quote-unquote normal game, they get 38, but they get the 2 extra minutes because they do not get timeouts. They get the coach interactions instead. And during the coach interactions, the clocks do run. Both teams in pretty good shape, though. They're just around the 20-minute mark, partway through the set, so they're in good shape.
Same weight? Yeah.
It's one of those a race to the roll kind of ends where no one can quite perfect the shot.
Close. Clean.
Yeah, that rock on the other side was starting to get a little high in the house.
Yep. Hard.
Now we're back around the tee line.
Gotta go. Hard.
It's so frustrating.
Bumper? Yeah, I like that. Something nice before? Yeah, we don't want to play it too cute.
Yeah.
Sean, I don't know if you're a Blue Jays fan, but it's opening day. Not sure if you know that.
Yes, I think I saw something about that, yeah.
Bumper.
It's really
So
hard to make
you're
it.
not a Blue Jays fan.
No, I'm just kind of absorbed in what I'm doing here. That's all. That's all. We got this going on, and World Men's coming up in a day or two.
Too much curling to pay attention to baseball.
Yeah. And it was snowing here when I walked to the rink, so it's hard to think baseball when it's snowing.
Whoa, clean. Whoa, curl. Whoa, curl.
Bumper up.
Curl.
11, 10,
Hard.
curl. Control.
Hard. Okay. Yeah, 10-4.
Right.
Yeah, let's go like 1 for 8 here.
I mean,
I like 4.
Having a laugh about the fact that no one can make this shot.
In fairness, it's been slightly different almost every time, so everybody's had to make a slightly different shot.
Yeah, I think Owen can sweep it back for.
Let's make this one. Go easy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not going to jump this.
Yeah. Yep.
It sounds like they know this path really good. It sounds like it's a little bit straight here. They said they'll be able to back it up if they need to.
Boy, take forward.
Whoa. Whoa. Close. Girl.
Close.
Girl.
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 This one needs to move a little bit.
Whoa. Straight. Whoa. Roll away.
Sounds close. Oh, sounds close because they're going the other way.
They bailed out on it.
Yeah, I thought for a second there, I was like, oh, they're gonna nail
Like
it.
it's just the hair outside of middle. Like it's like
I was seeing that. I like right on that 7, sorry.
Yeah.
You got
it's
it.
actually matched. Think like a little less. Yeah.
So theoretically, Jill, given the choice, does Nova Scotia take their point here?
No, if they get the opportunity to blank, I'd say they're going to blank again. It is only the 6th of a 10-end game, and I think they'll look to blank and go for their deuce in the 7th. That could be the hammer turnaround that Alberta might need if they could force in the 7th.
Right.
Whoa, curl.
Normal.
Hard. Yes. Hard.
Get thrown.
Almost.
That looks like match.
An 0 for 12 on rolls this end.
It's hard to call it.
But
Okay.
great hit and sticks.
Take a little less.
I think I can slam it.
Yeah. Yep.
And it seems like this side of the sheet's just a little bit straighter than the other side, so they'll count on backing it up here if they need to get the blank.
No. No, wait up.
Clean.
And no doubt about it, Nova Scotia does blank the end, and they maintain that 3-2 lead and hammer going into the 7th end. We will be right back. Don't go anywhere.
Hey, Canada, come on in to Montana's. When it's game night, there's no better place to cheer on the pros or celebrate your own wins or forget your sporting woes. Because when you're craving in-house smoked, fall-off-the-bone ribs, head to Montana's, Canada's home for barbecue.
Today we learned to put one foot in front of the other. That with a little hard work, great things will happen. We can go for gold, But what matters most is having fun. We learn from some of the best, improving our skills, building confidence, and making friends that feel like family. We are proud to be the future of curling.
Welcome back to the New Holland Canadian Junior Curling Championships in Summerside, PEI.
Parker, it's probably like right here. So you can
My name is Sean Turf. I am joined by Jill Brothers. We are watching. What are we watching? We're watching Nova Scotia 2 playing Alberta 2 in an important game with respect to standings. Both teams sitting at 4-1 in contention to finish top of their pool. There are 9 teams in 2 pools here, and the top 3 make it into playoffs. Important to finish first if you're gunning for playoffs at all, because you get that extra buy into the second level of playoffs. So both these teams are eager to get to that. As you predicted, Jill, they did peel that rock out of the house and declined the single.
18-2.
Yeah, the single was the single in 6. Nova Scotia's not too upset about it because they're up 2. It was an even end. Alberta might be kind of glad because they're going to get the hammer back, opportunity to maybe tie it up in 7 with a deuce. So, you know, getting a single last end wasn't terrible for either teams. The blank gives Nova Scotia a chance to get a deuce and go up by 3 points in this end if they can convert.
Yeah, Nova Scotia in a pretty good place right now.
Straight. Good.
I'm not sure how much your team dives into analytics, Jill. The one chart that comes back to my mind that Renee Sonnenberg from Curling Canada has sent out, and kind of indicates that if you're up in score, you are in an advantage position, whether or not you've got hammer. So right now, Nova Scotia is they're up in score and they've got hammer, so they're in a very good advantage position to win this game.
Yeah, absolutely. It's kind of like, you know, staying above the bar, staying in the green when you're looking at the scoreboard and the even ends. So we're always kind of end by end looking at what we need to do and when we need to flip the hammer, and when giving up that single point's okay, and if a deuce is, you know, the end of the world and all that kind of stuff. So Christina would be the hot one on the more of the analytics side on our team. She's a good numbers person, and yeah, I like that about our team. I'm not a huge numbers person, so I lean on her for that kind of stuff if need be.
Yeah, I got caught earlier this week talking about the numbers and the advantage position, and I think this is what people need to remember about statistics, is their probabilities rather than certainties. Because I was saying at one point one of the teams that was playing was in an advantage position, was more likely to win, and then of course they missed a few shots and gave the game away. So it's important to remember that these are really probabilities that we're talking about, but rather than certainties.
Yeah, absolutely. And, you know, we're not watching Brad Jacobs play against Brad Gushue right now, right? So all those statistics are, you know, they're going to move a little bit more depending on who's playing, and these are great teams, the best junior teams in the country. So most of the times they probably are going to follow suit, but less likely than a Brad Jacobs and a Brad Gushue. You know, if they're up 1 within the 10th, they're probably going to win. There could be a little bit more of a misstep with younger teams, of course. So that's why we love to watch sports and curling. You never know what the outcome's going to be.
Yeah, that's why you play the game, right?
Exactly. Yep, and sometimes we're playing and we surprise ourselves with what we managed to do to win a game or what we managed to do to lose a game. That's a pretty nice shot by Alberta, just bringing the Nova Scotia Stones behind the tee line. That can be helpful for them later in the end.
They kind of got to get out of jail free card with that one back. Yeah. But yeah, let's make it on.
Clean.
Yep.
Yep. Yes. Yep. Girl. Whoa. Straight.
Hard on that roll. Come on. Go. Yes.
There's a roll they couldn't get last time. That was a beauty.
Little top's okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, you got this.
It rolled, not to be picky on us here, it rolled a hair too far. It is making a little bit of a pocket there for Alberta to come into. They would have wanted that just a little bit higher to keep it fully above the tee line.
Even maybe
see if Alberta can nuzzle one in there, yeah.
Maybe even angling on that other red rock, maybe.
Hold in. Curl.
Yeah.
9. 10.
Hard 9. Look through. Hard.
This one's a long way out there.
Yeah, they're calling heavy as well.
That's not a good combination on this sheet.
How much? 13-4.
Yeah, 13-4 is almost hack weight.
4.
Yeah, I think
little light's okay.
Yep.
So that slight overroll right now, definitely not hurting them because they have a kind of a free shot here to go top 4, nuzzle around that yellow one, and then they'll be sitting 5.
Hard line.
Did I count right, Sean?
Yes, you did. There's a lot of red rocks in there.
The camera switched really quick, and I'm like, did I count that right?
No, this gets in a good spot. It's fine. Yeah.
Hard, Chris! Oh, you gotta go! Hard!
A little rub off this top yellow one's not the worst thing at all. It just cuts that path off to that little pocket you were referring to earlier.
Yeah.
It's not exactly what they wanted, but it's not a bad spot.
Yeah, they just needed to hit the sweep a little bit earlier with Christopher.
Yeah.
He did sweep it a good amount of the way, but it was a well-thrown rock, and I think just hit it a hair earlier, and they're by, and it's a perfect rock. Yeah, that's an unfortunate result.
Same thing? I don't even hate the same weight. Same weight? Okay.
It doesn't do a whole lot for them, to be honest, does it?
I'll just give this one a little.
No, and now both rocks, the rock on the side of the button there is above the tee line, so it's just getting harder for Alberta to freeze in there. So if Nova Scotia makes a really good one here, Alberta's got a lot of work to do with not many rocks left.
And the way the center guards are lined up, they're a bit of a zigzag, so there's no straight run back into that pocket at all.
Yeah, I'm curious, Sean, if they look to freeze with the other turn.
Yeah.
That's a nice shot.
I think that freeze you pointed out is there now, still there. Yeah, there you go. They're listening to us.
Yeah, I agree. You got it, 15.
Evan Henniger has always talked about you, I swear.
It's one of those shots you can make a beauty, but as soon as it stops, you know that Nova Scotia's eyeing up that top 4 red rock to see if they can angle it over with a soft weight to bump the yellow out of there. So always looking a couple shots ahead to see what can happen, right? But I don't see many other options for Alberta at this point.
No, there's not many. They're facing 5 now. If they don't want to be facing 5, I think you're right. The only place to put it is at this top button position.
Clean. Where?
Mine's good.
Clean. Whoa, no bounce.
I'm good.
Clean.
I'm good.
Whoa. 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 Yeah.
7.
He's cutting towards that yellow one. Oh, that's unfortunate.
Where are we putting this?
Yeah, that still leaves Nova Scotia sitting 3.
I think so. Wait, did you get time on that?
Yeah, and I think they're just going to ignore that yellow rock and put it right where Alberta was trying to put theirs.
Yeah.
And if they do that,
Yeah, absolutely.
if they do that, then the options are
Yeah.
pretty limited.
Peter's weight was a little bit up on that shot. I think he was just trying to freeze, so it's surprising that he actually hit the top yellow, that it over curled with that much weight. So I don't know if it was a misread of the line or if it jumped on them, because that was plenty of weight.
We're getting 4 for sure.
You can hear Nova Scotia getting pretty excited about the opportunity that they have right now. So they still have to be cautious about where they put this rock. You don't want to leave a better shot for Alberta.
To the back one.
No.
Let's stop. Coming off. Really coming off. Okay. Line.
Hard line, yep. Hard line.
Wait only.
Hard line. Line. Whoa. It's got to curl.
Right off.
It's got to sit.
Looks pretty good.
Got to sit.
Yeah, you're just like same weight, yeah.
Yeah,
Like a hair
it did under curl a touch.
Yeah, you got it.
You know what? It was just basically heavy.
Parker, get ready to knife at the end.
If they were a foot higher right there, I don't think they're too mad about the line.
Right.
But this actually allows for this little bump and roll to maybe cut Nova Scotia down by a lot.
Same weight. You gotta rub it off top. Okay, you got this. I love that throw.
And that's what I was referring to when I said we don't give them something to work with that makes it better for them.
Yeah.
This essentially did make it better for them if they can execute the shot.
Easy. Whoa. Good. Whoa. Curl.
The sun's hanging out there a little bit. The sun's hanging out there a lot.
You gotta go hard, Parker.
We're 4.
Inside of that? Are we?
We're 4.
I don't think we touch it.
No.
I mean, we can do this, but
That's
I don't
too
see
risky,
the point.
isn't it? Do you ever just? Yeah. I don't think we touch that, Caleb.
No, I'm with you there.
Yeah.
Now, can we get here?
Slight grab maybe on this.
There?
Yeah. You sure that much?
I use the smart.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. I'd rather slam this and be light.
Peter played some really great weight at that shot. They just couldn't catch the curl.
Do you think the weight was a factor there, or was it just
We got a chance.
not enough curl?
No, I think the weight selection was really good. It was just a tap weight, which is what I believe his call was, and I think that's the right call. They just maybe over-iced because it did not catch the curl for them. So they did have a bit of an opportunity there, but unfortunately couldn't get to the inside of that rock. Now Nova Scotia's going to try to sneak a 5th rock in here. A little too hot.
Nova Scotia takes a big 4-ender to go up 7-2. We'll be right back, folks. Don't go anywhere.
Days In makes every winning moment even more epic. Staying nearby gets you close to what matters most, right from let's go to OMG whoa. No matter why you're traveling, we have what you need to make every day even sweeter. Because when you stay closer, like me,
And me.
it makes every day brighter. Seize the days at over 1,500 locations. Days In, a trusted brand by Wyndham.
When I think New Holland, the first word that would come to my mind, I would think success. I think without it, for me, the success isn't there.
Whenever you deal with somebody so long and they take care of you, you remember that.
New Holland builds products that will continue to evolve and make the farmer more efficient that can produce food for the world.
Welcome back to the New Holland Canadian Junior U-20 Championships, Curling Championships here in Summerside, Prince Edward Island. My name's Sean Turf. I'm joined by Jill Brothers. We are watching an important playoff implication game between Nova Scotia 1 and Alberta 1. In that seventh end, Nova Scotia cracked a big 4-ender, breaking this game wide open. So Jill, how did that kind of come about? Like, what happened?
Yeah, I mean, it's been a fantastic game, and in that end, we can talk about the sixth end, and no one could really make a roll. And in that end, Nova Scotia did start making the holes, and they got around the center. It was just, battle to the button, and Nova Scotia won the battle to the button a few times over Alberta, and they just piled them in there, and they had the draw for 5 actually, which was, Alberta just couldn't get their rocks in a good enough position to take the end away. So that results in a big score of 4. Kind of doesn't showcase, how tight this game really is at this point. But now we'll see Alberta turn on the offense and try to get something going here.
And that goes towards something you said just after the break about Alberta needing to make sure they get rocks. Maybe a little better rock placement. And just didn't pull it together, whereas looked like Nova Scotia really did in that end. So.
Yeah, a little bit of there was one that was wide and heavy. Peter's last shot didn't quite curl enough. I think it was thrown pretty well. Maybe the broom was in the wrong spot. I'm not totally sure there. But yeah, just a little bit on the heavy side on some of those draws. And behind the tee line is challenging. Those rocks don't typically help you too much. So bringing that weight back this end for Alberta to try to get those rocks to the wings behind the corner guards. And we're going to see Nova Scotia with the up weight starting to peel things and looking to make doubles and runs.
Top 8, guys. Hard, yep. Gotta go. Hard, get it here. Hard. Hard, 16-4. Go. Hard. Top 12, buddy, go. Okay.
It's a nice start to the end. It's a pretty good lineup for both teams, 2 corner guards, and Nova Scotia's got the reds up the middle, so Alberta's going to try to go around now, ignore all the reds in the middle, deal with those later on, and try to get a good one in place here, and then we'll see Nova Scotia start ripping the guards.
All there. 9.
9, 10. Really running.
Yeah, it's like through.
Looks like it's hacked.
13-8, yeah.
Okay. All good.
I'm sure that's something that's fairly common. After giving up a big end, it's awfully deflating, and it can be hard to refocus.
On my
Yeah, and arena ice, often when you throw to the wings, it's actually speedier than you might think it is. So they did know out of his hand that that was a little hot, but it's pretty typical that those do slide pretty well. So he might have been a bit heavy, but that might have been a bit exaggerated too with throwing to the wings. Because sometimes you think it might be a little bit slower going that way, but often arena ice will be pretty speedy to the wings. It's a bit of a miss from Nova Scotia, so they still have an opportunity to get under the guard.
I think last, eh?
Tight.
4-5.
Hard line. Light.
Gotta go. Yeah, straight.
Okay, line's good. Gotta go.
Line's good. 4-5.
Weight's
Line's
good. 6, 7.
Weight only. Line's good.
Coming down.
Doesn't need to curl. 7.
6.
15. Line's good.
Weight's good.
Does not need to curl.
Weight's good. 7.
Good sweep.
Good.
I'm just gonna throw this easy.
This is just a straight peel. They don't need to make the run back, so I'm pretty sure they're just trying for the straight peel here.
Curl. Curl.
No real problem there. Got it right where they needed to. Got rid of the shooter.
Nathan Gray there's a dual athlete. He's a cyclist as well. He's in the summer he's busy on his bicycle. In the winter he's busy curling. So he basically goes right from season to season, and I think he's pretty competitive in it as well. So he's a dual athlete, which I'm sure a ton of these guys and girls are, busy in the summer with other sports. One of the athletes on Nova Scotia 1 on the women's side, she's into volleyball. So it's so great when these curlers play multiple sports. It just makes them better, really well-rounded athletes, and I think it just really increases their skill on the ice to be competitive in other sports as well.
Yeah, this year, so one of my roles is I'm the head coach at Humber College for the curling program, and this year we had a rugby player come curl with us, and she had some curling experience, but her development rate and her rate of learning was much higher than a lot of native curlers, I guess, if you want to say it, because she just had the athleticism and she had the attitude, and she was used to working hard, and she'd already, like I say, she already had all the like her core strength was amazing, and her flexibility was amazing, and
I just think
her stamina was there, and all those things contributed to her being a good curler, which just reinforces the fact, I think, that good athletes are better curlers.
Yeah, absolutely. And I always find when I do learn to curl for like some kids, I can always tell the kids that are maybe into dancing, or even some older kids that do yoga, their balance is just so good, or gymnastics is another one. And I'm like, what else do you do? And I'm always really interested to know what else they're involved in, to have such good core strength or flexibility. So
I had just one of those kids one year.
yeah, I love multiple sports.
I had just one of those kids one year. She was there and she was sliding. She was sliding pretty well. And I asked her mom how long she's been curling. Oh, this is her first time. So there's no way this is this kid's first time. How is she so flexible, so strong? And what other sports does she do? And her mom's like, oh, she doesn't do any other sports. I'm like, no. Like, she's got to be doing something else. And finally the mom said, well, she rides horses. And I'm like, well, there you go. I mean, her core strength's amazing, and her balance and her everything is incredible. And it just lent itself to curling skills.
And equestrian is a sport.
100% a sport. It wasn't me discounting it. It was the mom. Mom was saying, no, she doesn't do anything else. I'm like, oh, no, she does. Things not looking great for Alberta here.
No, they did have a jam from Nova Scotia, so they had a bit of a chance, but the Nova Scotia Rock did roll to the top 4 in a good position, and it's they're in a bit of a tough situation now. They have to make a really good freeze to this one back button.
Line's good. Running easy. Boys can't bounce.
8.
Whoa.
9.
Whoa.
Coming down.
Straight.
9. 9.
You're going right here. Whoa. Yep,
Should we
right
just
back.
go into that one?
Where are we?
9.
Straight, hard. Hard. Yep. Go under. Okay. That's fine.
I mean, we're 2. What does he do if we just block this off?
Even if he gets 1, he shakes.
Just another one that was a bit heavy there. Jackson tried to pivot on the call by going around everything. They wicked a hair, but again, the rocks behind the tee line are not super helpful. And in this position, unless it's almost a perfect freeze, Peter's in a little bit of a hard spot.
Bite the 4-foot line kind of thing?
Straight guard? Or just anywhere in that line. I think a little more.
Yeah, I think quite a bit more space here.
I agree.
You leave him a hole, he doesn't have anything either.
No, he's going to have to play off that red for his 1.
Nova Scotia's going to try to make this really hard for Alberta to even score a single point right now. They're looking to go top 8.
Top 12's good.
Top 12's good. 3.
Top 12's good.
Top 12.
Clean it. Yep, straight.
Owen only. Wait
Straight, yep.
Owen.
Hard, Owen. Hard, Owen.
This one's moving big.
Yeah, he may get a little rub. No.
Oh.
That's okay. 15,
Might have been worth trying the rub, but still not a simple shot.
Pretty small opening. Yeah, pretty small opening to get your 1.
Well, it's coming down this way, Peter. So it should miss. Straight into it. I don't think so.
We gotta get off the corner and maybe this.
If you go this, it just never I think it just rolls out. I think if you hit it thick enough here and it comes down this way.
We'll try it.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter.
What is that? Yeah, it's right here. That's third. Gotta throw it pretty hard though.
Yeah.
So they're looking to come off the back of the one that's top 4 onto the one on the button. If I could try to draw it up for you, I would. I don't have those skills.
I think what you're doing is this, here, there.
Yeah.
Is that what you're talking about?
Mary, that's beautiful. Nice work. So they just changed turns to try to get a lower bounce off the back of that. I still think it's only ever for 1, but we'll see if he can come close.
Okay, good try. 1?
Good try.
Yeah. Thanks. Good game. Good luck.
And Nova Scotia takes 1 more to make it 8-2, and Velcro. Everyone shakes, and that's a final, folks. Well, thanks for tuning in, and Jill, it was a pleasure. Thanks for joining me in the booth virtually.
Thanks for having me.
Stay tuned. We are on again here at 7 p.m. Atlantic time. I think that's 8 p.m. in Ontario, and it's another time out west. So join us then. Bye.